Matthew, the challenge of coming in at Colchester, roughly near the foot of League Two, was it important for you to get back into football management, and were you just biting to have the opportunity within the English Football League calendar? Was Colchester an opportunity you couldn't turn down?
In the first half, first quarter, and that beginning of the third, I wanted everybody to kind of feel good about themselves. And at some point we were down about a few points, so I felt like it was time to get going and get myself going and to be aggressive. So I lucky with a few shots that I made, but I was just being aggressive.
Take over an interim role, and then obviously eventually offered me the role full term. But in terms of the answer to your question, I've had experience, obviously, like you said, it brought me a piece for us. Took a lot from those experiences, but I was just happy doing the 21 role that I'm currently in now. The time I'm being, and what will be in the future would be obviously come around a lot quicker than I thought.
And I suppose, Matthew, coming in terms of mid-season, we're nearly at Christmas time now. Obviously that brings about certain hurdles and challenges in terms you have no time really to settle in the job, you have no pre-season as such, you need to achieve results really straight from the off, given the club's predicament towards the bottom of the table. Is that really to go in there already guns blazing and trying to get your philosophies, or do you take some bits that the previous manager had done well, and is it all about refining and adding bits to that in areas you think you can improve, or is it just changing the whole philosophy and mindset as a new manager coming in?
I think it's hard to change a philosophy, a mindset during the course of the season. I think that has to evolve. I think if you come in at the post-season when you've got a full pre-season with the players, but slowly but surely I think you've got to try and get the team to play the way you want to play, but that takes time.
Obviously, I had
So yeah,
the weather, so I didn't really get the chance to work on my game, but
it should be
I
done
feel like
at
he's
this point
always
of the
been
season.
there,
Obviously,
and we
staying
just
clear of
adjusted
injuries
a
to
few
key players
steps.
is really important as well.
And I suppose, Matthew, I looked at the sort of the squad and the sort of playing numbers, and I know you probably have a few injuries, but it looks like a very much an enlarged squad. I counted something like 34 squad players. Now I do admit there's probably some youngsters in that, and probably 10 attacking players as well. So when you're coming into a squad that's probably enlarged, it's at that sort of and mid sort of season, would you prefer to be working with maybe 19, 20 senior players and maybe 3 or 4 youngsters sprinkled around that, maybe 23, 24, is that the magic number, or in League 2 do you need enlarged squads?
And I'm going to get better at it, and I'm
I
going to start
think
using
those
it.
34 players you mentioned, a lot of them would be from our academy and under 21 players that have an opportunity, and they'd be the best of those 21 group. But yeah, ideally, as you said, you like to work in smaller numbers, and training, for example, we work with 20, 22 players. That varies from time to time depending on what you're doing, but yeah, 23, 24 as a squad, supplemented as we do it with the under 21s is probably the way to go.
And I suppose, Matthew, given that you come in with a task and a job, and I presume that task is to keep Colchester in the Football League, and hopefully to achieve probably safety with maybe a month to spare, so Colchester fans won't have a nervous last month of the calendar. But in terms of maybe trying to develop the squad, I know Joe Taylor is on loan from Luton. He's had a really good time, 21 matches, sort of 9 goals. Will it be hard to keep on to these players now that the window is sort of opening, or do you really think about it's about trimming the squad rather than adding? Do you think you have a full squad there capable of achieving the task?
I have a lot of records in this league.
I think if everyone's fit, the squad's more than capable. The key is to that, everyone being fit. In terms of the lone players that you mentioned, Joe Taylor, for example, we're addressing that at the minute. We'll get to January, and if Joe leaves, it's no definite yet, but if he does, then we'll have to address that. We'll have a plan in place to address it, but we'll wait and see.
Played within the offense, and I didn't, force anything. I took whatever that was given to me, and I also, one thing that I've been trying to figure out is, when to be aggressive.
We'll see. And in terms of recruiting anyone in,
my teammates
potentially,
do their
but I
thing,
think
and when to also pick it up and be aggressive and take over.
Will really benefit the group. It won't be wholesale by any stretch, but 2 or 3 additions would help.
Yeah, and I suppose, Matthew, it's very strange in one particular insight that you would have a player, even a youngster from Arsenal's academy on loan at Colchester United, but you have a young Portuguese player there, Mario Bandeira. Is he an exciting prospect in terms of maybe an agreement with Arsenal for him to come on loan in terms of Colchester? Because normally Arsenal, with their foreign products or foreign youngsters, that they would go overseas maybe for experience.
Take the last
obviously Morris come in and a little bit of exposure at the start of the season. Then he got an injury that he was out for a number of weeks. We went back to Arsenal and has come back to us the last 3 or 4 weeks. Probably hasn't got the minutes that he would want or Arsenal would want. It's probably one of our stronger areas of the pitch in terms of midfield, where we do have numbers there, so it's been difficult for him to get minutes lately. But yeah, obviously Arsenal think highly of him, and obviously he comes from good pedigree. Arsenal, when there are 21 players who are always of a good ilk, and Morris is saying.
Yeah, and I suppose, can you tell us a bit about the Irish defender from an Irish angle now, Fikra Kelleher? 6 appearances for you this season, 1 goal, and he's made his way up the leagues. He seems to be a guy that has maybe come from the National Conference, the Conference League, and is making his way up the footballing pyramid. And is that due to his determination and grit that he keeps moving his way up the pyramid?
I mean, with the start, it didn't feel like
I think so. His character, first and foremost, is second to none.
2-for-30.
Great lad,
with the way I started, but
off the pitch,
like I said,
all his teammates
I'm still learning.
Really lean towards him in terms of his character and the way he's around the group.
Tonight was a great step
he's recently come back into the team from injury. And been a big help to everybody, really. He's a really solid performer, really solid bloke, has done really well in recent weeks, so really important.
Not forcing anything.
And I suppose, and I suppose, Matthew, people will talk about, you hear Jurgen Klopp talking about the busy Christmas schedule and Mikel Arteta and managers in the Premier League and complaining about it, and it's not fair and it's not right and player welfare, but it's important to realise in terms of down the football calendar, it's the same for ye below in League 2, and it's such a quick fire sort of turnaround. There's no preparation time, no real planning in between these games. You go straight from Salford to MK Dons, then to Wimbledon, then to Gillingham, then to Swindon, and you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. I make it in the space of 12 days, literally.
Yeah, defense is just collapsed, and then that's when I usually also take advantage of it and try to get my teammates, easy shots. The games over the festive period, and I'm sure the fans do as well. So,
me and
in terms of preparation,
Drew,
don't get a lot of time in between games, but you maybe do your work beforehand to make sure you're ahead of the curve, so to speak. So you're already prepared and thinking about the next game pretty quickly. So that's what we'll be doing. Just making sure that the players are as fresh as possible and ready to perform game after game.
I suppose, Matthew, final question to me, and a question from me to you, and I suppose it's a bit of a personal question. You would have graced the Premier League with Tottenham and West Ham and Stoke, and you would have been managed by so many great managers. You would have come up against so many great managers, and seen many great managers grace the line where you, as a tricky winner, were running up and down past them. And did any manager during your time as a player had a rub off on you, had a sort sort of an appeal to you, and do you start to think to yourself, yeah, I love to play under him, or I'm delighted if I got the chance, or I would be delighted to play under him, or I just think there's something, an aura or charisma about this guy that I would like to maybe take something that he has and instill it in my own self one day.
The defensive end, I felt like
I think in terms of managers that I played under,
plays off. I've been going as hard as
start of my
possible.
career at Jim Conlan,
And defensively, we've been doing
very, very
pretty
good,
good.
a real
I think
bright
we
football
so
mind.
I'm happy about that.
I was under management just like Alan Hardy, who was really good to me in my time at West Ham. More of a man's manager. Technically good as well, though. In terms of Pulis and Stoke, they're all three very different managers, but Pulis and Stoke was meticulous in his detail, in his preparation, etc. So those are three that working under, I definitely took something from each and every one of them, and there's other managers that I was lucky enough to work under as well. Obviously, good coaching careers in the game. In terms of right now, I think you look at the top ones that Guardiola's new Klopp, yes, they're working with the best players, but also the way their teams play and the way they carry themselves, whether it be in the media, whether it be in and around the players, they're top. What they do for a reason, and they win all the trophies.